Alright, really quick, we're going to make it so that your art is going to look like it's in your video footage. So After Effects, create a new composition. Make sure that you get the composition ratio out of the box in your composition settings. Alright, go to the left hand side in this project box, double click, bring in your video clip, and bring in a transparent PNG of your art. Alright, so I have my video clip. Drag him all the way down here into the timeline and make sure that you get a cut of your clip, so like a single instance that you need to or want to track. You can use Ctrl-Shift-D to cut. You can't do a large scene where the camera goes in like a billion directions with motion tracking. It's just not going to work out, so I'm just going to cut this a little bit more. Alright, so I have this one little clip of my dog here digging. Let's say I want to bring in my drawing of a dragon and make it look like my dragon is there with my dog. We have to do 3 steps. Null object, track, and apply to the null object. Bottom left hand corner in your kind of composition for the timeline, right click, new, and add a null object. This is going to be a sort of storage. It's going to store information. But ignore that for now. Go into the right hand side, scroll down to tracker. You're right here, I have tracker. If you don't have tracker, go to the very top left window and go down to tracker. We'll get it. Now select your footage in your timeline. Go to tracker and you're going to click track motion. You'll see that the motion source is my video clip. Make sure that your motion target is your null object. So click edit target and null if you don't have that. Now we're going to track this footage. If you think about motion capture suits that they use in films, they're black, completely black with white points on them. That's because white points against dark surfaces are easy to track. Vice versa, dark points against white surfaces, easy to track. So try to find a kind of contrasted point in your footage that's going to be available to track. For me, I think this white dot on this rock worked really well. This dark rock against the white sand is pretty good, but if I scrub through my footage, you can see my dog's head goes over it, so that's not going to make it very helpful. What you're going to do is drag in that empty space in your track points and move it. Put it right over that. And now what you're going to do is get that outer box around the kind of outside, and get that inner box right over that white point, with not any really of the dark sticking into it. Just like that. To make it even more accurate, you can add more track points. Go over to the right near tracker, click this little 3-button guy, click new track point, and you can find a new point to add that to. Alright, and once you have a bunch of points, you can add as many as you'd like. I mean, the more the better, the more accurate it's going to be. Make sure your scrubby in your timeline right here is all the way to the left or the right. And now go over to tracker. You're going to click analyze. I'm going to analyze forward because my scrubby is at the front. Now the computer is going to track your footage using these points. So you can see mine's just figuring it all out. And here in the stage, you can kind of watch your tracking points, see if any of them aren't working. If one isn't working, then you can delete it or maybe add a new one. Stuff like that. So I'm just gonna wait for these guys to finish up. Okay, so I am finally happy with my tracking point. My other one wasn't working really well, so I just deleted it. But the track point 1 is working really well. As you can see, I can scrub through this whole video and it tracks that one point. So, what we're gonna do next is, once you're happy, you're gonna go over to tracker again, click apply. Make sure that the motion target is the null object and apply X and Y dimensions to it. Now the null object is storing those dimensions. You can see on my screen that red is that null object, knowing where the camera's going. Now take your image, get it on in there, make sure it's above the video footage. Here's my little dragon. I'm gonna make him look like he is in that, that video and the camera's following him around. Well, he's going to become the child of the null object. To do that, just find your art in the timeline, and under where it says none, click null. That means the null is its parent, and it's going to follow what the null does. Now, when I play the video, look, it looks like he's just standing there with my dog. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it for the basics. And after that, you can learn masking. That's the way you're going to add shadows. That's the way you're going to like get your objects behind real life things. So that's super fun. But this is just to start. Good stuff.